Hey there everybody, welcome back to another World of Warcraft video here in Warlords of Draenor. That is right my friends, we are in the Warlords of Draenor expansion and you might be asking yourselves, what the hell are you doing in Warlords of Draenor? Well, I'm about to tell you folks. Your boy, RJ, he he did a little thing, okay? I may or may not have created a warrior. Uh, and I may not be leveling said warrior. I have always wanted to try out warrior as a character, as a class, and I never got the opportunity to. My entire journey through WoW, I've never had a warrior character ever in this game, and basically what brought it on was I'm gonna explain myself. What brought it on was I am taking a little break from healing and focusing on damage. And one of the things that I've really enjoyed doing is doing damage on my hunter. My hunter is a monster right now. Almost have KSM in season 3, and he is pretty much not quite maxed out on gear, but he's gonna be real soon once he gets his 4-piece for his tier set. Once I get a few more items here and there, especially a weapon. I'm really searching for a weapon, but he's pretty much where he needs to be. I did 8 Mythic Plus dungeons above 15s this week. My highest was actually an 18. Super proud of that dungeon with the hunter. And oh, speaking of hunters, there's one right there. And I wanted to do basically, since I'm taking a break from healing, if my second character, if I had time for a second character, I wanted it to be a melee. I want it to be something that I can run in and just smash the face off of my enemies. So my hunter is still my main, don't worry, that's not going anywhere. He's just too much damn fun. He's a blast to play. My melee, once I kind of, got my hunter squared away for the week, I was like, I wonder what melee character I want to play. I'll dabble around. My Demon Hunter is really the best guy that I have right now, melee. Took him out, did some stuff with him. Demon Hunters are so much fun to play. Don't get me wrong. They are a blast, but they are so simple. And it's not that it gets boring. I just like to have more buttons to press, more decisions to make in the rotation. Demon Hunter, really, there's only like basically three buttons you press, sometimes even only two. And it just gets to be very repetitive, and um, it's always so predictable as to what you're going to press. There's no surprises, there's no, you know, oh man, in this specific situation I'm doing this, or this specific situation I'm doing that. Demon Hunter across the board is basically the same rotation, whether you're fighting a boss, whether you're fighting mobs, and AoE. He is a blast, and he blasts damage, big damage. But I wanted a melee maybe that had a little more challenge behind it. And I almost created a rogue, subtlety rogue. And are notoriously difficult to play. Very difficult. Like, considered one of the toughest classes to play in World of Warcraft properly to get the most DPS out of them. So I was like, boy, I don't know if I want to have that big of a challenge where I can't play the damn spec or the class or any of the specs. And I was like, yeah. And I really, rogues are cool, but I don't really like the fantasy of them as much as a warrior. Warrior is a plate wearing badass. Two big fucking swords in his hand, running into battle and just like slashing the shit out of stuff. Is big beastie boy. And that's what I kind of like, is that charge in, hard hitting kind of fantasy. I think that's badass. Coming kind of from Lord of the Rings for me. Like Aragon in Lord of the Rings, just going in there and just boom, boom, boom. I know he's kind of like a ranger, but still, very, very cool fantasy-wise for me. So that's kind of what inspired me to maybe try the warrior, and boy, am I glad I freaking did. It is a blast. I love playing it so far. I love gaining new abilities, but the style of it is so good. So in this video, I kind of just want to show you what I'm up to and introduce you to this new guy. So his name, if you guys couldn't have figured it out on your own, is Bob's Warrior, because hello, all my names and all my characters have Bob in them, so people know it's me. Um, but some of my favorite abilities about the warrior so far, so we're only 36, level 36. I did actually make him, boy, just like a few days ago kind of thing. So he's only been around, but we're already at level 36 because it's just the leveling has gotten so much better, and wow, it's so much more streamlined. Um, but anyway, some of my favorite abilities here are, let's go into our little book here. So charge has got to be one of the coolest friggin' abilities. It basically you just charge into a friggin' enemy, dealing damage, and it just is the coolest. I'll show you guys when I charge in, but it gives you so much mobility. It's just a blast. So I really like charge. I really like execute. As you get an enemy down to 35% health, which I have picked because I have a specific talent that lets me do it at 35%, start to execute them, and it creates a lot of rage. And you spend rage. It's basically like a builder spender class, which I enjoy the style of builder spenders. Um, and so basically, you're building up rage with all these abilities. All these abilities. See, charge generates 20 rage. Execute generates rage. All these abilities here. You know, raging blow, 12 rage. Bloodthirst, 8 rage. So you can see Whirlwind generates 3 rage plus an additional 1 per target that it hits. So the more targets you have, the quicker rage you generate. And then Rampage enrages you and unleashes a series of 4 brutal strikes for a total of 465 physical damage. It's a heavy hitter, but it not only does that, it also puts us into enrage, which is something we want to try to maintain. If I can find it here. It's going to be in here, right here. This is something we want to maintain as often as we can. So becoming enraged increases your damage down by 11% and your haste by 15%. Haste being one of our best stats for secondary stats. And then it's got Bloodthirst has a 45% chance to enrage, and then Rampage always enrages. So we want to make sure that we stay enraged as often as possible. So as we're building up rage to spend on Rampage, we're going to become enraged. And then also this ability, Bloodthirst, has a 45% chance of putting us into enrage as well. And so basically we try to maintain enrage as often as we can, and then once we're enraged, doing our normal abilities, Raging Blow, Bloodthirst, and Whirlwind, all just do so much more damage because of being enraged. So that's kind of the basics right now. I don't have all the abilities. There's a bunch of, obviously when the target gets below 35% health, we're going to start executing the target. Another one of my favorite and I think most iconic warrior abilities. This one right, let's see here, Heroic Leap. This is so cool. Leap through the air towards a target location, slamming down with destructive force. Deal 34 physical damage all enemies within 8 yards. This is just a badass. You can go 40 yards with this thing. So I'm just going to show you real quick how cool this freaking is. So basically, look at this. Ready? Oh! I mean, is that not fucking cool? So as you're running through dungeons, every 45 seconds you can do that and leap. And it just is a great way to speed through and give yourself mobility, because you know I hate classes that are slow. So yeah, that's really it right at the moment. I don't have a ton, like I said, of the abilities online. I mean, I have actually, to be honest, I have most of them. I don't have recklessness. That's a big one that we've got to get. This is basically, it says go berserk, increasing all rage generation by 100% and granting your abilities 20% increased critical strike chance for 10 full seconds. So this thing we're basically going to pop off right before we start blasting and just go to town with that. But I pretty much have all these other ones unlocked. And then I think the rest of my abilities, yeah, the rest of them you've got, like there's some shouts. I've got to unlock still Battle Shout, Intervene, Rallying Cries, a good ability. I can't wait to get that. More talents, obviously. I've got more talents coming up, sets of talents. And then obviously when I get into Shadowlands, you've got legendaries, you've got tier gear. Fury Warriors right now are S tier. They are in the top tier for melee damage. They're one of the best, if not, but I think they're just behind Sub Rogue. Sub Rogue is top dog. Fury Warriors just behind them. So they are fucking smashing faces in Shadowlands. Kind of the reason why I was like, if I'm going to try a warrior, I want to try Fury because Fury's doing so well. Other thing I really like about warrior before I get to, before I forget to mention it, is have 3 specs. So you have, kind of cool, you got 2 damage specs. So if Fury's not doing well, hopefully Arms is doing well. Hopefully both of them don't just suck, because then that would be awful, obviously, but I'll still play it because it's fun. But you got 2 different damage classes or specs, which hopefully one of the 2 of them does well at any given time in the game between nerfs and buffs. And then you've got protection. You can play as a tank, which is freaking sweet. So if I want to try to like dabble in tanking, or sometimes I'll just do like my dailies. I'll do like those dungeon run dailies. I'll just pop into tank and just go crank through them, because by the time you do those, you're so overpowered. It's kind of trivial going through those dungeons, and your queue times are really low getting those dailies. So if you're kind of like, oh shit, I gotta go to work, but I want to pop on and do my daily real quick, switch to protection, pop out the daily, and then jump right off, and you're done. Instead of having to be DPS, wait the queue time. I mean, sometimes those queue times are 12, 15 minutes. You gotta wait longer than the dungeon would actually take to just crank it out in 5, 6 minutes. So that's nice to have that flexibility if I want to play around with tanking. So this is gonna be, I think, my primary melee spec once I get them leveled up. And I'm gonna just go through and do some basic questing with you guys and show you some of these abilities. So we're gonna charge in and start fighting this guy here. Is that not fucking awesome? I mean, come on. That is just sweet. Gonna rampage. Execute. And see our rage bar right here, this red, that's what's keeping track of that rage.
What are they doing?
Let's get this person out here.
They were bleeding us dry. I don't think we had much longer.
I'm gonna head to the next cage that I need to unlock here.
I need to get close.
Rage in there. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, see how hard this thing slaps? It's insane. And then you can like heroic leap. And I should have gone a little further here.
I'm out of range.
Charge in. Done. Wow, dude. Oh, I got distracted. I was getting too excited. Charge this guy. Rampage. Done. Sit down. That's awesome. There you go. That one's out.
Thank you.
Let's grab this person. What is this thing? Whoa. Oh, it like lights the things on fire. That's pretty cool. Alright, cool. 1 out of 8 bleeding hollow huts burned. I need to burn more of these huts, don't I? Let's go back here and see if there's any chilling down in where we just were. Just to kind of show you guys a little bit of what the warrior can do. This is one of the huts, right? Oh yeah. Dude, that is cool. Oh shit, somebody coming out of there. Another one going down. Shit, big boy. Let's get him. Drop the boss. Let's see, this is another little spot right here. one. Jeez, dude. The damage. So much fun to play this class. Oh, there he goes. Nice, nice, nice. Up this way. Got up here. Huh. Gotta be more huts up here, right? Yeah. Maybe? Oh, this is where friendlies are at. We gotta go down probably this direction. Go around the corner here. I bet you there's some more up. There's one. Here. Grab that one. That'll be our last. Oh no, we got two more to get. This one. Where's the next one? Further in here? You guys got another hut that I can friggin' go after here? Here, come to me, come to me, come to me. Where are you guys hiding your huts, huh? There's one up above there. Maybe there's one up here. Up here and then back in here, maybe? Doesn't go anywhere. Did I miss one? I think I missed one, did I? Got those. Oh shit. There's a bunch right here. I just ran right by. Oh, what a goon. Let's grab this. There we go. Okay, that's all those quests right there. Gotta go meet up. It's like somewhere close by, yeah, right up the hill here. The other thing that Warrior has is good mitigation and good healing. Not like the greatest. Obviously, like Paladin has an on-demand sort of heal that you can use, but this Ignore Pain is really good. So fight through the pain, ignoring 55% of damage taken, up to 901 damage prevented. So basically a ginormous shield. And then this thing here, even though it's on a 2-minute CD, reduces damage taken by 30%, and Bloodthirst restores an additional 20% health. So every time you Bloodthirst, it actually will restore 3% of your health. So 20% more of 3% is what you'll end up getting for an additional 20% health. So 23% health each time that you hit Bloodthirst, which is only a 3.8 second cooldown. So effectively, you can basically be almost dead, hit enraged regen, and as long as you Bloodthirst like 4 times, you're basically fully healed on your own. Even as though it's a 2-minute CD, if you know those sticky situations you get in, you know, the healer's tapped, or even on solo content where, you know, you're surrounded by a bunch of enemies, maybe you pull a little bit more than you could, you know, bit off a little more than you could chew. You know, you're going through and you're trying to ignore pain, trying to just use your regular healing. It's not really working. You can pop this if you're down kind of in the red zone and just heal yourself back up to full, go back to ignore pain, and hopefully get the enemies dead by then. And then Victory Rush is a little bit more finicky, but strikes the target, causing 133 damage and healing you for 20% of your maximum health. Only usable within 20 seconds after you kill an enemy that yields experience or honor. So it's kind of good in, I've used it in group content, dungeons, but in solo content it's great, because if you kill something, like let's say we kill this guy right here, and then we charge down to this guy right here, we can then, as long as it's within 20 seconds of killing this thing, I can hit this with this Victory Rush and heal myself 20% a pop, which is another really great ability. So
there is much we can learn here.
That's really nice
Be
too.
vigilant, friend. Come.
And I didn't even really mention,
observe and reflect.
so far anyway, I've noticed that there's a lot of stuns too. Like, well, not really stuns, I guess. Like, so I have Taunt, which I can obviously help the tank out. Like, if I can ignore pain and take aggro off the tank for just a second, just to let them drop stacks or whatever. This Piercing Howl snares all enemies within 12 yards, reducing their movement speed by 70% for 8 seconds. So that's really good if you've got a group that you want to kind of keep together, keep them from moving. This is one, it kind of just works on one enemy, aims the enemy for 50 physical, and then reduces their movement speed for 50%. And then you've got Berserker's Rage, which is kind of cool. So I've used this already a bunch. Go Berserk, removing and granting immunity to fear, sap, and incapacitate effects for 6 whole seconds. I've actually been in the middle of a fear. In some of these fears, I had a fear earlier that was like 9 seconds. And I'm being feared and I'm running away. This is actually usable in the middle of the fear. If I'm running away, I can't. All my buttons are locked except for this one. I click it, instantly drops the fear. So fucking handy to have. Um, and that's, like I said, I think I pretty much covered everything I've got so far. Um, and then if you want to throw, like if you're doing some questing and you want to snag an enemy from further away, 8 to 30 yards, you can do heroic throw. Throw your weapon at an enemy causing physical damage and generates high threat. So it's nice because you're over here and you're like, all right, I'm gonna attack 4 guys right here, but there's just one guy way over here that I really want to grab. You could throw weapon, hit him, run in, charge into here, heroic leap, whatever you want to do, and then that guy will come over to you here, and you can kind of group everybody together and blast them down. So I really like the playstyle. It's a There's a lot more buttons here than there are with the Demon Hunter, obviously, which I like. And all of them have kind of like a modifiable priority based on the situation. Like, I really like that you can execute at certain times and then you can whirlwind at certain times, but then Bloodthirst is a good idea if you're not enraged. Raging Blow does the most damage of all of them, but it's 6.7-second cooldown, so you got to make sure that's getting popped. You're watching your rage constantly to see where it's at, and then if you're rampaging, then after you rampage, you really want to make sure you're doing the best abilities in the best order to maximize your damage while you're in that enrage window. So I really like the playstyle, and it's very fast paced. You're not just sitting there like I do this with the mage, and the mage is fairly fast paced too, but I always pick on the mage. Frost mage is just like 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 3. It's like the main, and it's just like cast. It's just, I don't know. To me, it's not, it's fun. I like just jamming in there and just bam, just hammering things with abilities. And that's why I like my hunter, my beast mastery hunter, is everything is instant cast. So there's no sitting there waiting for cast bars and then, oh, I gotta move a little bit to the right because there's this thing that's under my feet that's about to kill me. Boop, cast canceled. Now I gotta restart it. It just feels clunky to me. I've never been a huge fan of those styles of classes. So this class being so fast, I mean, you push buttons basically as fast as the global cooldown can come back around. You're hitting something, and boom, and you're never stopping, and there's always something to hit. You don't ever feel like you're out of something. Like I've had it happen sometimes, even with my hunter, because my hunter is not really. Remember, Beast Mastery Hunter, you start with a full bar, and you use your resource to activate abilities. But the hunters, every once in a while, not very often, you have to wait because you're almost tapped on that resource. You have to hold off on everything, which feels terrible in a game like WoW. So you gotta wait. Okay, now we can go. This guy generate rage with everything you do, basically. And then you spend that rage with rampage. So you're never ever stopping and waiting for anything. You're just constantly just going and pumping out the damage. And I really think I favor that style over a lot of other classes. So we're gonna call this my introduction, I think, to my warrior. He is just so far so good. Really what I was looking for in a class for what the hell are those? No, they're like little spiders. Look at that. But he's really what I was looking for in a class for melee. I think he's gonna serve me really well, and I'm very excited to keep pushing him up through the levels, getting him to max level, and then just just like with all my other classes. And it'd be cool because my hunter, I just leveled. You know what? Maybe a couple months ago, maybe not even that long ago. I don't know. It's been a bit. But I just got him up to max level. I leveled him from level 1 to level 60, max level, with no help. I didn't buy any tokens. I didn't buy any I leveled him through dungeons, through quests, the old school way, and I'm leveling my warrior exact same way, and I'm learning all the abilities as I go. It's very rewarding. I'm actually enjoying leveling again in WoW, which for the longest time I was like, fuck this, I'm not leveling a character, I'm gonna boost them. I'm not doing this. And I actually get excited to try new classes and to experience the leveling because it is fun. You're getting abilities pretty quickly, you're gaining levels pretty quickly, and you're max level within 2-3 weeks, maybe a month if you're really kind of dragging your feet and you can only play so much a day, like a couple hours here and there. You'll be fine. Like it takes so much less time to level now. It's impressive. It's very, very cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about my thoughts on the warrior. Sorry I haven't really done a lot of videos. I've just kind of been in a, you know, I've been doing my dungeons with my hunter. I really need to do more videos while I'm doing Mythic Plus. But sometimes in those higher level Mythic Pluses, I've talked to PJL Daily about this before, it's hard to talk and to think about what I'm gonna say to you guys and what I'm doing in the dungeon. When you get to a certain point in those Mythic Plus dungeons, one thing kills me if I mess it up. So I have to be focused 110% on what I'm doing. So I have a struggle sometimes to talk over those Mythic Plus runs, but I am gonna try maybe next week when the hunter is back on the spotlight doing more Mythic Plus. I can bring you guys some videos with where he's at, show you some of the damage that he's been pumping, maybe show off how he's been doing. Those will be some cool videos to watch. Do some 15s and above, get those on recording, and I'm hoping I can continue to show you guys this guy. Maybe the next video maybe I'll do another one tonight. I've still got a little while to play. Um, I'll do a dungeon run, and we'll do that maybe for the next video. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you guys are new to WoW or you're even experienced in WoW, but you have questions for me and you want to know some of the stuff that I run, whether it be add-ons or uh, anything about any characters, I've almost played at this point everything in the game, minus a few things, I believe. So if you have questions for me, I can always try to help you out the best I can. And if I don't know the answer, I have a guild of, I think, 457 people that could probably figure it out between all of us. So we'll always be here to help you out. And with that, I'll talk to you on the next one. Take care, everybody.